Best on Tour this week is presented by Best on Tour. Sign up for free at bestontour.net. Welcome to this week's edition of Best on Tour This Week, presented on bestontour.net, along with your co-host Dave Rush. I'm Matt Pangrac, where we take a look inside of professional bass fishing, what happened on the water and in the industry. And Dave, good to see you this week, fresh off of returning from Redcrest.
Yeah, good to see you too, Matt. Glad you made it back safe from Norfolk. A very interesting week in the sport of professional bass fishing for sure.
Definitely, both on and off the water. We will start with the biggest tournament on the water, and that is the 6th Redcrest that took place at Lake Gunnersville. Dustin Connell, history.
Yeah, Connell, back-to-back Redcrest champion, pockets another $300,000 in the process, making it his third Redcrest title. So 3 out of the 6 Redcrest in history. Definitely a historical moment for Dustin Connell.
He wins by almost 8 pounds over Wesley Strader. He finished second. The 2 anglers in the top 10 that were making the nearly 70-mile run to the Nickajack Dam. Not a surprise here. With Connell's winning baits, he mixed in a Crush City janitor worm and also a Rapala Maverick jerkbait, but the majority of his damage was done on a Crush City mooch minnow. And then he also threw a Crush City freeloader on a scrounger head. He won with a final day total weight of 87 pounds, 11 ounces. Off the water, Dave, some interesting things at Redcrest, at the Redcrest Expo, but one of the unique features was the media luncheon that took place before the event started.
Yes, I had the opportunity to spend some time with Major League Fishing executives, Boyd Duckett, Kathy Fennell, Dave Washburn, a media luncheon of sorts, typical luncheon, but then something that was really cool, opened up the floor to a Q&A session. The whole thing lasted about an hour and 40 minutes. Very transparent, some really cool news, updates on how the season's going, future of MLF, et cetera. One of the biggest takeaways I took from the luncheon was in 2026, through a qualifying process, an international angler will have a spot at Redcrest. So it will make it a true world championship with an international angler having the opportunity to compete at the 2026 Redcrest.
Over on the Bassmaster side, the third tournament of the Division II series took place. Casey Scanlon wins that with 18 pounds, 5 ounces, a little bit of a low weight, but another anomaly for Division II.
Yeah, only the second time in history a open tournament has been decided after a one-day event. So obviously some weather issues this season in the world of tournament fishing, but Casey Scanlon on his way to the Bassmaster Classic.
The first event of this season on Sam Rayburn was also a one-day event, meaning through 3 tournaments with a scheduled 9 days of competition. There have been a total of 5 days of competition in Division II. Casey went old school, Ozark style. Half-ounce spinnerbait, trophy bass, Ozark flash spinnerbait, and then also flipped a 4-inch Bass Pro Shops tube, 5/16-ounce weight, unpegged on that to the tune of 18 pounds, 5 ounces to return to the 2026 Bassmaster Classic, which will be in Tennessee.
Yeah, Casey definitely breaking out some old school Ozark muddy water, rising water tactics to get the job done there at Norfolk.
The Division II with 1 tournament left in August up in Minnesota. Fisher Anaya currently leads that division through 3 events with 572 out of a possible 600 points on his way to competing in the Bassmaster EQs. All right, let's get to some off the water information. On the 5th, it was announced that Scott Martin has withdrawn from the Bassmaster Elite Series for the remainder of the 2025 Elite Series season. Press release from Bass, short and sweet. Bass officials confirmed that Elite Series angler Scott Martin is voluntarily withdrawn from bass competition for the remainder of 2025. A formal protest was submitted on March 28th concerning Martin. However, he chose to step away from the Elite Series before bass investigation process concluded and prior to the administration of an official truth verification exam. For the first time in over 2 decades without Scott Martin on a major tour, including the FLW Tour, the Bassmaster Opens, or the Bassmaster Elite Series. Definitely an impact will be felt with his absence.
Absolutely, Matt. With over $3 million in career tournament earnings, multiple titles, Scott Martin, one of the most accomplished tournament anglers out there, and arguably, if not the biggest, one of the biggest social media platforms in the business. So it will be interesting to see what the future holds for Scott.
All right, a little bit more looking ahead. The Elite Series is in action this week in North Carolina, but Bassmaster also announced an interesting title sponsorship for the upcoming stop in your neck of the woods on Lake Hartwell. Yeah,
Whataburger signed on to be the title sponsor of the Elite Series later on here in April on Lake Hartwell. So assuming you might be able to get a free burger or two around the venue there if you're planning to attend. So great sponsorship opportunity for Whataburger getting involved in professional bass fishing once again.
In a press release that was announced by Bass, it says, in addition to the title sponsorship, Bassmaster will launch a new digital content franchise, Whataburger Wednesdays, bringing fans fun and flavorful lifestyle content featuring their favorite progressive Bassmaster Elite Series pros. So some additional content coming your way from Bassmaster.com.
Yeah, and always great to see a non-endemic sponsor getting involved with tournament bass fishing.
Become a better angler. Get behind the scenes on the top fishing tours. Learn the business side of the fishing industry and how to get sponsors. The Best on Tour newsletter brings you all that once a week, completely free. Sign up now at
bestontour.net.
We'll see you next week. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Matt. See you soon.